Welcome to another wonderful class. Today we're going to be teaching how to make a pleated face mask, and the measurements will be needed would be your pattern should be 36 centimeters by 22 for your fabric and your interface. Now we're going to iron our interface onto that measurement of pattern. As you can see, that is our pattern on fabric already as 36 by 22 inches, 22 centimeters. Now I've ironed a couple of them already, and so we're just going to get back to work. Now you're going to fold to get the middle point of your fabric pattern. Now when you fold, it would be advisable for you to have the iron handy, so you just keep ironing because you need to have your places intact. If you don't have a pressing iron, then your pins, your tailor pins should be very handy at this point. And so the next thing is that we'll fold the edges by ½ inch, and then we'll iron in place, and then we'll turn it to the other side and fold the other edge too by ½ inch. Now this is making sure that both sides of the patterns are equal, because we don't want our face masks having one long and one short side, and then we iron in place. And the next thing we'll do now is to open up our pattern. You can see that the folded parts are folded, so they're not included in this measurement anymore. And then you take the one side of your folded part, folded tip, you bring it to the midpoint of your pattern, and then you iron. Then you fold again on that same point, and then you iron, or you can use something else to clip it down to make sure your lines are visible, because that's what you use for your measurements. Now when you open up, you can see we have 3 visible lines. You take your first line, you hold it down, you place it, you fold it into the second line. You fold it and place it on the second line we got from our first press. Then the second one is you take midpoint before the third line from our iron press, and then you fold onto that line of the iron press. So the third line is where it will be folded inside, midway is where it will be folded outside, and then you press. So now you can see that we have 2 very beautiful pleats on this fabric. And then we'll do the same thing for the other side of the pattern, because we want the 2 sides of this face mask pattern to be equal. So we'll fold to the midpoint of the pattern, and then we iron. We'll give it a very fine pressing, and then we fold it again just like we did for the first part onto that same midpoint, and then we iron. Now after iron, like the initial one we did, when you open up, you have 3 points. You take the first point where you can see my finger, you take it to where your second line is of your ironing, the second line of point, and then make sure everything is well placed, and then you iron to make sure your pleat is visible. Then you take halfway before the next line, and then you fold it down. Put the first pleat in place to make sure everything is fine, and then you give it a good press. Now after ironing, we have to check to make sure they are of the same height. So we fold it, we check to make sure that everything is together. We don't want a bent or a slant face mask, we want it to be straight. So as you can see, everything is in place together, so we are sure that our pattern is fine. We give it another fine press to be sure that everything is good. And then we open up our pattern. You can see our pleats, they are facing each other. You can also do this same way, but your pleats will be facing the outer part instead of inside. Depends on what works for you. And you can alternate both sides. And then we take our elastic. Your elastic should be 20 inches long. So you need 2 20-inch elastic. And then you place it, you pin it to one part of your pattern. And while pinning, it should be 1/8 inch from the tip of your fold, because we are going to top stitch in the end. So you can see there's a little space before my elastic is placed. That's like, just take 1/8 measurement of your tape as 1/8 of your tape measurement. You pin it, and then you put it to the other side, you pin it, making sure that your elastic does not exceed the middle line. You can see the middle line there. You make sure that your elastic does not exceed it, so that when you fold, you don't have your elastic placed differently. You can see the elastic is coming before the line, not after the line. Then you fold, and then we're good to go. You stitch. Now I already have one done, so I'm just going to show it to you. You stitch and turn over and top stitch. So this is it. You stitch, you turn it out, you top stitch, and that's it. When you wear it, that's how it So you can see it's very, very durable, it's reusable, it's washable, it's filtered already, and your face mask is set. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the class. You can please subscribe to my channel so that anytime we have something to give, you'd always be the first to know. Thank you. God bless you from Reusable Design.